So Luke and I think it's really important that when you go to somebody's house, you say, thanks for having us. So we would like to say a big thank you to the Wurundjeri, Woi Wurrung and Bunurong peoples of the Southeastern Kulin Nation, the land on which this podcast is recorded on.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Don't film me!
You are ridiculous.
Don't do that either! I'm sick of you!
You're a nutcase.
I don't care, Luke!
Look at you.
You infuriate me as a human being.
Are you recording? Can I pick my nose?
Luke!
And Sassy.
Scott.
This is one of the biggest days in our career, I would say.
We're off the Amazing Race.
We were booted off!
Yeah, because you can't do a bow and arrow.
Oh, you think it's that?
Yes.
For anyone that's watching, you will collectively all now know that Luke can't run fast. Or up a hill, ever.
I can't. If they ever did a challenge running down a hill, I'd be number one.
Sure.
Up hills
rolling
aren't my
down
thing.
hills. No, it was truly, in hindsight, let's stop for a second. Let's stop being against one another. Looking back on the Amazing Race was one of the best things that I've ever done in my entire life. And you were attached to that. We worked very well as a team, I thought.
I thought we did really well.
We went so far. We lost by getting into the finale by a minute.
Yeah.
Not even. And when the race day before was so hard on our bodies, so hard that then this one was full on 42 degrees out in the jungle in parts of Sumatra. No, not Sumatra. Where were we? Java, Indonesia. We didn't go to Sumatra.
Pacific Ring of Fire.
Oh, it was so full on, wasn't it?
It was hot. In those hot climates, I am not good in the heat. Were there ever some singing challenges on the race, Scott?
Yeah.
Because we're pretty good singers, right?
Wow! If there's ever been a segue that you've been good at, that one was okay.
I'm back.
If you're watching, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing what I am.
I am.
You look so good.
Thank
You
you!
actually look amazing.
Today is one of those special days in our career.
0 to 100 what?
Comes quite easy.
This little what?
Game will only please me. Peeps online are always talking about
All right,
me.
what are you getting at?
Today is the day that we finally launch Sassy Boy, the song.
It's out, everyone. Woo! Sassy Boy. Talk to me about Sassy Boy, Scott.
Well, I came up with the idea that we could write a song and we could publish it, have it played in clubs, probably hit the ARIA charts, get some big artists on and have it done in a week.
It was season 1 in the podcast where I challenged Scott to call Zoe Badwi for him to it was just a joke at the time, to see if you could write or make a song with her.
And I don't fuck around. I don't do anything half-assed, right? So I messaged some of the biggest music producers in the UK, and I was like, give us a bed. Can we have your help? Message Zoe. She's like, I'm in. Let's do this, right?
This is over a year ago, mind you. Over a year. So Scott said how easy it was going to be, like a 7-day turnaround. No. We're a proper 12 months or more down the track.
So we learnt that you needed the bed of the music. So we got that. Then writing lyrics was so hard. Luke and I would say things like, hang on, why don't we do this? And then Zoe and one of our producers would be like, that's 9 syllables or 9 beats or whatever we need 4. And we'd be
we'll just sing it a bit faster.
And we'd be like, yeah, say it fast. And they'd be like, guys, stop. Right? And they're helping us write. And then I'd be like, and then add this in. And they'd be like, that possibly could not be added to it. And we'd be we just did not understand the art form of even writing.
Do you have any musical background or?
Yeah, I did music lessons for 12 months, and then the teacher said, I can't help you can't sing, and kicked me out of her school.
Is that true?
Yeah. My favourite one was, do you remember at primary school when you'd be standing up in class and the Australian choir, someone big, would be there and you'd all be standing up to sing the national
anthem?
anthem.
You have to close your eyes and they...
Yeah. They'll tap you on the back of your head if you had a good voice. And when they'd come near me, I'm like, I would try so hard. And they never tapped my head.
They didn't even invite me to the fucking audition.
Maybe they sent you to the
That's
office.
what I mean. I didn't even get invited. So yeah, no, I cannot sing. Wow. And then we wrote we started to record. We performed it. We got the approval to perform this at our live show, which is what I'm wearing now. This is what I wore when we performed it. I had backup dancers.
I'm sure some of you listening came to our live show. So this may bring back some PTSD for you
You
too.
know the outfit I'm talking about. And then we went through music licensing and contracting. And when you've got producers that are big deals like Sean Sines, who is Jamie Jones's producer. Jamie Jones is one of the biggest DJs in the world. And Sean Sines said, yeah, I've got a bed, like I've got a track you guys can have with one of his mates. They gave it to us.
The weirdest thing is still to this day though,
What?
I find myself singing it.
It is categorically still to this day. And Mandy, our old producer, was like, I've never heard a more catchy song.
But that's what I mean.
Right,
I find
it's
myself.
catchy as fuck. And-
Should we play a little snippet
Yes,
just
go,
of the chorus?
go.
Let's hear it. So that's amazing. It is a bop. Like, it deserves radio play. If we can get it played on radio, like, I think we should try and do that somehow.
Imagine.
You guys are well connected.
That was the goal, though, to have it played in a nightclub, have it played on radio.
And to perform it somewhere big.
Oh my
Like
God.
the Grammys and stuff like that.
No, I was going to say the TikTok Awards in Australia.
Oh, that could be a good one.
Imagine.
I don't mind that.
They had fucking Jojo Siwa last year. They can have Luke and Sassy Scott this year.
Featuring Zoe Badweek.
Yes. Now, let's go to the lyrical geniuses we are, and we're going to go
Do a deep dive into the lyrics.
of what we're actually saying and what they mean.
All right, go do some of yours.
All right, here's verse 1, and I want like a Taylor Swift level analysis of this. Ready? Here we go.
In the park where the streets run wild. Sassy boy, huh? Devil child. Misunderstood, but it made me smile. You ain't seen nothing like me for a while. Oh, you hear me before you see me? Oh, you hear me before you see me? Oh, you hear me before you see me?
Yeah, you hear me before you see me. Okay, in the park where the streets run wild.
What's that?
We're actually talking about Mill Park, where we grew up. And I used to run around the streets like a fucking wild little feral kid.
You were wild.
Yeah, misunderstood, but it made me smile. So I went by the beat of my own drum, right? And Marcus, my husband, still to this day says Scotty's a rock star in his own world. And back then, I was so misunderstood, but I was still really happy, and so I was always smiling. You ain't seen nothing like me for a while, which is kind of fucking true.
Yeah.
And again, this is the crazy thing, and Luke always, I don't know if you laugh at it, but I've always acted like I was on the Truman Show just in case there was an audience watching. Now, just in case, I was like, this could be a really boring episode. Like this, even when I'm in the kitchen by myself, I'm like, this would be so boring for them to watch. So I always make sure I do a twirl or like, or like try and educate like people how I cut carrot or something like that.
Do you like talk it through?
Yes, just in case.
I find myself talking to myself a lot.
Has that only started now since we've got an audience?
I don't know what it is. Say like, no, I'll come to a pedestrian stop and like there's a car and I'll just go you motherfucker. Like I'll just like go, but I'll always do it because no one's around me. But I found someone listening to me the other day when I was like go, and this lady was like, oh excuse me, and I nearly died.
Oh, see, like I said, go.
Oh.
All right, now we're gonna go into the second verse.
Yep. Here is verse 2.
0 to 100 comes quite easy. This little game will only please me. Peeps online always talking about me. You make me feel like Yeezy. Oh, you hear me before you see me?
Oh, you hear me before you see me?
Oh, you hear me before you see me? Yeah, you hear me before you see me.
Okay, so 0 to 100 comes quite easy. So like I can pop off. Everybody always asks, right?
Well, it's where all the videos started from, and I used to always have it in the caption. Every caption of every one of the pop-up videos was, watch my brother go from 0 to 100. That's the
And
storyline
people
there.
always ask, are you actually like that?
Yes.
Can you really, right? Can he really get that crazy? And I've always said, can I flip a fucking coffee table in 2 seconds because somebody's like,
Oh, so strong.
somebody's pissed me off? Absolutely. But it's one part of me, right? And it does come easy.
Yeah.
And when I say this little game will only please me, that's to the term of like people having an opinion on me and thinking they can get under my skin, and it doesn't. Like, it just pleases me, people having any form of opinion on me.
Yeah.
Peeps online always talk about me. You make me feel like Yeezy. That is like, that was at that stage back then when we were kind of viral as fuck. And so many people were talking about me that I used to say to Marcus, I truly need you to tell me if it's having an effect on me, if I'm changing. And he was my pulse check, and I would say, like, because like I was so scared of getting an ego, right, and changing and becoming such a fucking wanker because all of this attention was on me, like Yeezy.
Yeah.
Now we got to verse 3, enter Luke.
Rapping.
Let's take a listen.
I'm still Scotty from Mill Park. I trigger his insults, yeah, the target's me. What? If I wasn't filming, there'd be nothing to see. Remember the toilet seat? Yeah, covered in pee. Yeah, look, he blew up again, only
That's my performance.
How about
Kanye think he made Taylor. You all know that I'm the Sassy Boy creator.
If it went for me,
You'd still be a waiter. Listen, Sassy Boy, we can thank you later.
Very good.
I can rap along to it now, but at the time I could only
miss a few
do
parts though.
I could only do a sentence at a time, and then they mash it all together
We
and put it in.
stitched them all. We would
That
be
too.
like, no, Luke, now just say the next word. And he
couldn't.
he just couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
And we wrote it, and then we would rap it for him and show him.
Yeah. So yeah, Mandy had to rap it, and then I had to sing along to her version.
That's like, imagine Eminem or something doing that. Like, oh, can you rap it for me
just
first?
so I can
Because they're
hear
like,
what it
oh,
sounds
Luke,
like."
do it like, pretend you're like the Hilltop Hoods. I'm like, I can't fucking do the Hilltop Hoods. Like, they're trying to help me.
And here I was thinking I was Eminem.
But what were those lyrics? I trigger his insults. The target's me. If I wasn't filming, there'd be nothing to see.
Unless the Truman Show is real.
Yeah, unless...
And then I wanted to make homage to one of my favorite videos, which is the toilet seat prank where I pretend to put pee all over it.
Covered in
Remember
pee.
that toilet seat? Yeah, covered in pee. What's the next
How
one?
about Kanye?
How about Kanye thinking he made Taylor? Because it's really, look, a boy made Scott.
Yeah.
How about Kanye thinking he made Taylor? You all know that I'm the Sassy Boy creator.
That's amazing.
If it weren't for me, you'd still be a waiter because
I was a waiter?
In a
How
pub.
long ago was that?
Like 15 years ago, 20 years. No, longer. 20 years ago, 25 years
And then,
ago,
listen,
actually.
Sassy Boy, you can thank me later.
Fuck.
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
And then there's, I remember during recording with Zoe Badwee's part, Luke, who I haven't recorded, but I've produced things, right? And Luke, never songs, but being in a room where you're producing and things take time, right? So Zoe just starts getting her sounds out, right? And like feeling how she's going to do it.
I was like, do a run or something.
And
It was
Luke's like,
so
can you just do a
mediocre.
run? Can you do one of your big parts where you get like really high and make it really famous? And she was like, okay, I'm just getting started.
She just needed a little push.
Right, she
and
was
then
like,
she sounded good after that feedback.
So thank you so much to Sean Sines, Zoe Badwee, our producer Mandy, who held our hands a lot during this, our management at Mushroom, who have been really, really good, Gab and Kirsty, in trying to help with the contractual
But what we're
agreements.
asking for you is you can now listen to it anywhere. It is on Spotify. It's on Apple Music.
YouTube?
You can put it to a TikTok. You can put it to
LimeWire?
an Instagram. Stop saying LimeWire.
You
But I heard it's
said that
back.
last week.
LimeWire is back though.
There you
Is
go.
LimeWire back?
Someone big just bought it out, I
There
think.
you go. You can download Sassy Boy right now, anywhere you want. Go listen to it. It's a fucking banger. Luke and I are never scared to shy away from topics that I guess a comedy podcast sometimes is. And it is National Mental Health Month in October. And it's something that I think a lot of people should talk about all the time. I'm very active in talking about mine, and I hope that this segment encourages other people to talk about theirs. And we've put a lot of thought into it. And we're going to be speaking to Cooper Chapman, who is big on gratitude and advocating for mental well-being. Now, he's the founder of the Good Human Factory. You're going to learn a lot about him, but I think first up, a lot of people always ask me about my mental health, and I think everyone who advocates or knows about it would say it's an everyday, not challenge, but it's like, when you talk about your well-being or fitness, like it's mental fitness, right? Some days you're on top of it, some days you aren't. And, I've learnt over the years what's really, really good for me. And people say, you've got twins, you've got a career, you do all of this stuff. Like, how do you stay upbeat? But the truth is, I'm not always upbeat. And I, even more sometimes these days, I just want to run home and shut the door and close the blinds and just have a doona day. And so since over all of these years, I've learnt what's so good for me. And that is, it's called autogenic meditation. Now, I do that twice a day. There's a 17-minute video on YouTube that I listen to, and I lay down and I put the phone under my pillow. And this is without a lie. It instructs you. All you have to do is just listen, and it's guided meditation that tells you to repeat things one after the other. And after 17 minutes, I feel like I've just slept 8 hours. So I advocate for it. It really helps. It's not a long period of time. 70 minutes is not a long time. And in a very busy paced lifestyle, I try and find that. And I will share it. We'll put it in show notes, my favourite one.
Well, talking about my mental health. So I suffer from severe burnout. So I go to a few events, and I never knew I had a little social battery, but my God, the battery in that depletes so quickly. I go to one or two events in a week, and I need downtime for about 4 days.
And Coop taught you something, Luke, once that you always tell everybody.
I do. I think we even talk about it on The Amazing Race, I feel, at one stage. But it's very big, and it's something that you wish you got taught these little skill sets when you were younger, because it will change your mind when it comes to jealousy, to competitiveness. It's just being able to celebrate other people's wins and act like they're your wins as well. Like, to think that, say you're in a race and you come second or third, to be 100% within yourself, to be happy, or teach yourself to be happy for that person's win.
To come first was so hard.
You can celebrate it with them, and it will also give you joy. It doesn't have to be a bad, dark time for you.
And we did this. We took Coop's model onto The Amazing Race, but it didn't matter where we came, if we were because we were racing so hard and giving it our everything, that if people beat us, it was like, more power to them, because it's so hard to do, because we've just given it our all. So you learned how to switch your mind away from that should be us, I'm so jealous, to more power to you because we tried to do it. And if you got there, that means, like congratulations.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
We've got Coop here.
So Cooper Chapman, a professional surfer for more than 10 years. Cooper grew up in Narrabeen in New South Wales, Australia. Cooper's interest in mental health was prompted by his father's bout with depression and the suicide of 2 family friends. He is the founder of the Good Human Factory and has become one of our great mates, who leads the charge on mental health conversations and has a book, and we have an audience who will do well hearing from him. Here's Cooper Chapman, everyone.
Coop!
Hello, boys. How you going? Good to catch up, and good on you guys for championing mental health this month. And appreciate a chance to have a quick chat and say hi to your audience.
Mate, listen, I have something that I need to apologise for. Now, this is a me problem, not a you problem. You've... You gifted us your book that you've just come out with recently. Now, I'm like, this is going to stay in my plane bag, and every single time I fly, I'm reading it. Now, every single time I fly and read, I fall asleep. Now, I reckon I'm at page like 14, and I fall asleep after every page. And there's been so many things within the book that I'm like, oh my God, that I find the way you recall your childhood, I find similarities to me and Luke growing up. But I'm only at page 14. But can you kind of tell us what your book is about and why you wrote it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it clearly can't be that interesting if I keep putting you to sleep.
No, that's what I said. It's not you, it's a me.
That's a you problem.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I appreciate giving me the chance to share a bit about the book. But the book's called The 1% Good Club, and it's all about this theory or concept that I came up with, that we should all give 1% of our day to our mental health. And 1% of 24 hours is 14.4 minutes or 14 minutes and 24 seconds. So I've rounded down and said, let's at least give 1% of our day to our mental health and do 14 minutes, less than 1%. And I love what you were talking about before, the idea of doing some sort of meditation. 17 minutes is great, like you said, but the way that I describe it is we need to stop thinking to listen to what's going on in the world and what's going on in our body. And the way that you describe the body scan meditation, it allows us to get out of our mind and just feel our body and just, settle it down for a minute. So, yeah, the book is all about 1% of your day for your mental health. It shares my story from a professional athlete into and social entrepreneur building my business, and then 10 healthy habits that are scientifically proven to regulate your nervous system, to allow you to deal with the stresses and challenges that we all face every single day a little bit better so we can show up and be our best selves.
Listen, there is a time in the book where you talk about how young you were, pro fucking surfer, and you felt ego coming into your day, and you were really disappointed at not coming first and how you were performing. And I loved the story about how you were like a wild card and you ended up like smashing number one or something like that, like these people that were your peers you always looked up to, but then you found yourself having this ego, right? Like if anyone's listening and can find themselves never being happy with where they are, what's a good way to, like, I guess, put your finger on the pulse and find gratitude in what you have in your life?
Yeah, I think a big thing for me was just external validation, being so driven from a young age to do well in the surf comp. Then I'd overhear my parents being so proud of me, talking to their friends, and I sort of craved that. I felt I needed to, be successful in my sport to get the admiration and respect and love from my parents and my friends and my family, which was obviously not true. But when you're a young athlete, that's just what I became addicted to. And for a long time as a junior, I was riding this roller coaster of success. When I did well, I felt amazing. When I did poor, I wanted to hide in a dark room. And it wasn't until I was about 20, 21 that my psychologist told me, like, pro surfing's what you do, mate, but it's not who you are. And he said, I want you to focus your self-worth and your identity on your personal values, not your external validation. And that's a big theme throughout the book and through the work that I do, really just trying to help people go on that journey of self-discovery and moving from that external validation, victim-driven mindset into this one of a hero who can live by their own values.
What was the drive to do that, to be an advocate and to talk to other people about mental health?
A big thing for me actually came from guilt. So you kind of mentioned in my bio, I had some family history of mental illness. I lost an uncle when I was quite young to suicide. I watched my dad struggle a bit, and then my youngest sister lost a friend when she was in her last year of high school to suicide. And that was just such a big kind of moment for me where I was reflecting on the last week of my life, and I'd just been in America competing professionally, surfing, traveling the world, living this, pretty awesome life. But then there was kids in my local area that were struggling so much with their mental health that they, were doing something so permanent. And from that day, I made it my mission. Like, if I can go and help one kid at a high school, if I can share the lessons of, these top level psychologists and neuroscientists that I've worked with through my career from this privilege of being a professional athlete, then I feel like it's my duty. If I can help a few people with those lessons that I've had the privilege to learn that maybe they didn't learn, that I realized I didn't learn at school, then, that would be amazing.
With your book, The 1% Good Club, what would be one thing after someone reads it that you would love to hear them say, the one message they took away from it?
I think the one message is just that, hey, after this book, I've learned that I'm going to give 1% of my day to my mental health. I feel like this 14-minute theory should be the baseline for everybody. So I hope people leave the book feeling inspired to give at least 1% of their day to their mental health, but also realize mental health and your journey is not linear. It's a daily journey. It's not a destination, good mental health. So if you have a day or a week or a month where things aren't going well, that's okay. You've got through every other hard day in your life. You can get through another one and, get back to those healthy habits. And the book's all about the tangible habits, the simple science, but then the techniques that people can start practicing today to give that 1% of their day to their mental health.
You're a good man. Now, I took something really great from you, and I want you to help the audience, the listener, understand this. It was around gratitude and 3 things to, be grateful for each day. Now, you put this in really layman terms. we spoke about one time that, you know, people and myself, when you try and find 3 things that you're grateful for in your life, you start to run out because people focus on the real big things. Like, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for having a roof over my head. But you were like, you can be really grateful for the fact you didn't, you know, you woke up not feeling tired today. You can be grateful for the temperature of your coffee. Like, you can be grateful for lots of little things. It doesn't always have to be something really, really big. And when you changed my mindset on that, I was like, you can see so much more around you to be grateful for. So did I do that justice, or is there an easier way to say that?
No, you did that very well. I feel like gratitude gets this, you know, interesting view sometimes, this woo-woo thing like, oh, just focus on what you're grateful for. But if you look at any of the data studies, there's so many of them now from many big universities and a lot of peer-reviewed studies that show, like, people who have a gratitude practice are happier. And like you said, so often when people practice gratitude, they think they have to have this massive thing happen to be grateful. Whereas I say, try and practice gratitude every day. At the end of your day, look back through your day and go, what were a few things that I enjoyed? Gratitude isn't about anything massive. It's just about noticing things that feel good. And it's not to say that you don't have challenges and hard things going on, because I never want people to feel like, oh, I've got all these challenges. It's easy for you to be grateful. It's like, gratitude isn't saying you don't have hard things going on. It's just about spending a few moments each day to shine the light that is your awareness on the positives. And when we do that, it releases chemicals that make us feel good. So practice it every day, and then you start to find more things every day to be grateful for. Has that been your experience, Scott?
Mate, so much of my fucking day is smelling every single flower that I see, which I freaking love, but it drives people like Luke insane because, no lie, right, at this time of year, I get so obsessed with stopping and smelling the roses, which kind of came from our grandma too, because she used to say, make sure you stop and smell the roses, because I can't, because she didn't have a sense of smell. So when she passed away, I was like, I'm going to stop and smell the roses for her. Right. And now I stop the car and get out and cross a road when I see a good rose to smell.
However, I've got really bad hay fever, so I would say I'm grateful at the moment for antihistamines.
There you go.
Listen, Coop, thanks so much for coming on and chatting to us, mate. You know we think the world of you. You're an absolute rock star, and the world needs more of you. And if we can't make more of you, we'll keep telling your story and to as many people as we can.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care, all your audience, and happy Mental Health Month.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Now, also, he comes from a line of, like, fascinating people in his family. Chloe Fisher is his sister, and his brother-in-law is Fisher the fucking DJ. And it just says a lot about his family, how close they are. They all came to our live show up in Brisbane, met his mum, one of his other sisters, just really beautiful people, like a very Aussie family. And I love that he doesn't hide or shy away from any of his daily problems.
And mental health, it's so important to talk about, but always remember, if you or a loved one or anyone else that you know is struggling, there's always help and support out there. Here in Australia, we have Lifeline, and you can contact them on 131114.
Can I just say, actually, this is something that I've been thinking of often, and I find it so fucked up that I have this on my phone. I have in my notes on my phone pinned comments or feedback to send back to people in private DMs, and it blows me away that I have a response that I have to send to so many people that reach out about how bad their mental health is, that they want to share it with me in that moment of time, and that I have a standard considered response that I send sometimes in a week, about 50 to 100 times to 100 individuals that are struggling so much with their mental health and just screaming and looking out for someone to hear them or see them or for some type of support that they're not even aware of. And it just, every time I do it, I'm like, oh my God, this person's struggling so much. The best thing I can do for them right now is say, I hear you, I see you. I'm not the best person to talk to about this, but there are these services that I totally encourage you to reach out to. And it just tells me how much of a big problem we have out there. And, you know, this conversation is so important. And if you do know someone, or if you are, it's okay. You're allowed. But, you know, you come into this world by yourself, you leave it by yourself, so you should focus on you first, more than anyone else. Put the oxygen on you before you put it on anybody else. Thanks for the chat.
Scott, you know what it's time for?
What?
It's time for a tone shift. Here we go.
Your family's fucked. No, your family's fucked.
Scott, we have the same family.
Fucked up families.
All right, it's time to feel normal again. And who's going to do that but Kate?
So I was arranging my wedding. It was a destination wedding a few hours out from where we lived, little coastal town. And I'd been organising it with a hotel, and we were having the reception there, and all the guests who were travelling could stay then at the hotel. And my mum booked the bridal suite for herself. And when I tried to talk to her about it, she told me that I was too slow in booking it, and she got in first. So in fact, she was keeping the bridal suite, which was like the penthouse at the top of this hotel. And myself and my new husband just had a standard motel room. And then when the coordinator of the events tried to intervene, my mum shot her down and said absolutely not. She was staying in the penthouse.
Wow.
What are your thoughts? One, I'm going to go out there and say,
I'm fucking shook.
but at the same time, fuck off with your destination weddings.
That's not it. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. She said a couple of hours out of town.
Okay.
So that's going down to Mornington Peninsula, where I got married with Marcus. So you're saying fuck off with that?
Yeah. Yes,
So
don't have it's an opinion.
So
Don't
where's
get
your
mad at
wedding
me.
going to be?
Probably just around the corner.
In a fucking pub.
Probably.
Oh, how, so many people
Cool.
love to come.
But let's get back to Kate's story. Stop making it all about you again, Scott.
We are. The reason why we made it about me is because I'm the same as Kate. I had a wedding and you had a bigger opinion on it. Of it being a destination.
Who took the best room there?
I took the best room, and then the other best room, there were 2 equal best rooms. Who did we give the other one to? I think it was just hair and makeup. And
Really?
And hang on, who did have the second? Who had the rock star room? Patrick and Brendan. Our other brother. And our ex-brother-in-law.
Do you think? I think it's dog of the mum.
Terrible!
To do that to her own daughter.
So I would have had her uninvited, and I would have had the room cancelled on her.
I sometimes think though weddings are, yes, they're about the bride and the groom, or the groom and the groom and the bride, or whatever we call it, but it's also for the parents.
No, it's not! They've gotten married before!
But
it's actually not! Back the fuck
But
up!
it was for their parents then at the time.
What?
No, a part of me thinks it's the joy and happiness comes from the parents.
No, it fucking doesn't. That's generational warfare right
No.
there.
Do you think that if the parents paid for the wedding, they deserve the bridal?
I wouldn't
Oh,
fucking
good
know
one.
because we come from an Australian family where that shit don't happen.
Yeah,
they
true.
give you some money to go towards if you guys need or
It's like,
want.
oh yeah, we won't put money towards like the photographer or anything, but how much
bar.
alcohol do you need behind the bar?
Yeah. Listen, that is fucked. That's a fucked up
That's
family.
fucked up.
Thank you so much for
And
sharing
she
that,
was
Kate.
just saying mum. So I wonder if she got another partner. Who's she with? She's causing trouble.
No, she knows that it was all her mum. Dad just had to go along with it.
Imagine the other in-laws finding out about this.
Furious.
Kate's in-laws would have been furious.
I'd actually have them kicked out and removed from the wedding.
Do you reckon it's a lifelong schism between mum and daughter then after that? Can you ever mend
No,
that?
the in-law it would be. Like the bride's partner, husband or wife would have a huge problem with the in-law, the mother-in-law forever. Anyway, let's wrap the show up on a really, really positive note. You can download Sassy Boy on Spotify. You can go watch it on YouTube and anywhere on our
What do you mean when you
socials.
say you can download it on Spotify?
I don't know, you can download and add it to a fucking playlist now.
Yeah. You don't have to go and buy
Stream
the
it.
song.
You can stream it.
Yeah, stream it.
Well, okay, listen, I'm new to being a musician.
Yeah. Go buy our vinyl and cassettes.
Listen, you'll see the video, the lyrical video on all of our socials. If you liked the song or you love us and you want to help emerging musicians, can you please go reshare it, comment on it, and live the Sassy Boy lifestyle. Bye. That's when you usually say goodbye to me.
Get out of my house then.
You never follow the fucking show notes.
It doesn't say bye.
Yes, it does. You know it's supposed to. Goodbye. Thanks
That's mine.
Luke
I'm sassy.
Scott.